السلام عليكم أهلا وسهلا مرحبا بكم إلى قناتي معكم أخوكم أبو جندل. Welcome you all back to my channel. With you is your brother Abu Jandal. As usual, today we have another very interesting and captivating topic. This topic is of utmost importance, and what is that? Asma'ul Ishara. Asma'ul Ishara. What is Asma'ul Ishara? In the English language, we have what we call the demonstrative pronouns. We also call these the pointing pronouns, because these are the type of pronouns we make use of when pointing to persons or objects or even animals. So we say this or that. Basically, we have two types of these demonstrative pronouns. The first, we have Asma'ul Ishara lilqarib, which means proximal demonstrative pronouns. These are the demonstrative pronouns we use when pointing to persons or objects which are close to us. And the second category is Asma'ul Ishara lil-Ba'id, the distal demonstrative pronouns. These are the demonstrative pronouns that we use when we point at objects or persons which are at far distance from the speakers. Now today we are going to be discussing about the first category, which is the Asma'ul Ishara lil-Qarib, which is the proximal demonstrative pronoun. If you want to get to watch the second category, you can click on the link above to watch the about Asma'ul Ishara lil Ba'id, which is the distal demonstrative pronoun. Now let's dive into the topic of the day, which is Asma'ul Ishara lil Qarib, the proximal demonstrative pronoun. In the English language, we all know that we have this, T-H-I-S, and we also have this, T-H-E-S-E. These are called the proximal demonstrative pronouns because we use them when we are pointing at things or objects, persons which are close to us. However, in the Arabic language, we have 5 of these. Unlike the English that has just 2, we have 5 because we know the Arabic language will always cater for the 2 genders, both the male, the masculine, and also the feminine gender. And also the Arabic will also cater for dual, when we have 2 persons, 2 objects, or 2 animals. In English, we have this, which is used for single, and we have this for plural. But in the Arabic, we have hadha, hadhihi, hadani, hatani, haulai. So this video is all about these 5 proximal demonstrative pronouns. Let's dive into this table so we can explain further and also provide lots of examples to better your understanding and the usage of these proximal demonstrative pronouns. MashaAllah. Now when you look at the table here, you can see that we have 2 columns. The first column we have lil mudhakkar. Lil what? Lil mudhakkar, which means for the masculine. So all the demonstrative pronouns you'll find here are for the masculine. Then on the second, we have the second column, we can see lil muannath, which means for the feminine. So meaning any demonstrative pronoun you find here will be used for the female gender. Then on this side, we can see we have al-mufrad or lil mufrad, which means for the singular. We have singular. Then we have lil muthanna for the dual, when we have 2 persons, 2 objects, or 2 things. Then lastly, we have al-lil jam'i, which is for the plural. MashaAllah. Now, since the table is set, we can now begin to fit in all of the demonstrative pronouns that we have. Under the first column and the first row, we can see the first box here. What we are going to have there is hadha, because that is under al-mudhakkar, which means the masculine, and lil mufrad for the singular. When you have a singular masculine, a singular male, or a singular word, which is a masculine word, whether a person, an animal, or an object, what demonstrative pronoun do we use? We simply use hadha. Again, hadha. What is hadha? Hadha means this for a singular thing or a singular person. An example, we can simply say hadha Muhammadun. This is Muhammad. Hadha Muhammadun. This is Muhammad. What if we have an object? We can simply say hadha kitabun. This is a book, because both Muhammad and a book are singular words that fall under the category of masculine. These are masculine words, so we use the word hadha. What if we have a feminine word On the second column, we have a feminine word, singular word, and we want to describe it, pointing to it with a demonstrative pronoun. We simply say هذه. Again, هذه, which means this for a singular female. An example, I can simply say هذه عائشة. This is Aisha. هذه عائشة. This is Aisha. What if it been an object? I can simply say هذه غرفة. This is a room. هذه غرفة. This is a room. We can see both Aisha and غرفة are considered to be feminine words, and therefore we use هذه because they are singular words. They're just one. That's all for the first row, which is for the singular. Now let's move on to lil which is for the dual. So what demonstrative pronoun do we use to point to dual, to two persons, two objects, or two animals? What word do we use? We simply say hadani. If the words or if the objects and persons are males, are considered masculine, so we use what? Hadani. So what do I say? I can say hadani rajulani. These are two men. Hadani rajulani. These are two men. MashaAllah. What if we have objects? I can also say hadani kitabani. These are two books, because rajulani and kitabani are considered to be masculine words. So we say hadani kitabani. Now moving on, under the lil muannath for the feminine, if we have two female words or two feminine words, what do we use as the demonstrative pronouns? We can simply say hatani. Again, hatani. So hatani, an example I can simply say hatani bintani. These are two girls. Hatani bintani. These are two girls. What if we have two objects and these objects fall under the category of feminine? I can simply say hatani ghurfatani. These are two rooms. Hatani ghurfatani. That's all for the second row for the al-muthanna, the dual. Moving on to the last row, to the final row, which is lil jam'i for the plural. If we have under the lil mudhakkar for the masculine and also for the feminine, we are going to be using the same word. So we have just one demonstrative pronoun to use in pointing to plural things, whether being masculine or feminine. Let's go. So the word to be used is haulai. So haulai is a demonstrative pronoun meaning these, meaning all of these. Haulai. An example, we simply say haulai rijalun. These are men. Haulai rijalun. These are men. For the feminine, we can say haulai nisaun. These are women. Haulai nisaun. These are women. MashaAllah. Now, you note something. What if we have plenty objects or animals? Do we use haulai? No, we cannot use haulai because haulai is only used lil akil, for the sensible. And animals and objects are not considered to be sensible. So what do we use? We simply use hadhihi for plenty objects. So what do we say? Hadhihi kutubun. These are books. Note this, hadhihi kutubun. These are books, because hadhihi originally was used for a singular feminine, where we said hadhihi aishatu. Now we can also use the same hadhihi when there are many objects and we say hadhihi kutubun or hadhihi aqlamun. MashaAllah. Let's recap. We said we have 5 demonstrative Asma'ul Ishara, lilqarib in Arabic, 5 proximal demonstrative pronouns in Arabic, and they are hadha, hadhihi, hadhani, hatani, haulai. Hadha, hadhihi for the singular, male and female. Hadhani, hatani for the dual, males and females. And haulai for the plural, males and females, but only for the sensible. If you have objects, you use what? Hadhihi for the plural. In the Quran, you come across a lot of places where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use all of these pronouns. So when you learn it very well and you understand it, you will see that when you recite the Quran, you will know where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses this one, and you also know the meaning of the verse. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ease our first verse. To round up, let's quickly revise again. هذا هذه هذان هاتان هؤلاء هذا هذه هذان هاتان هؤلاء. MashaAllah. With this, we come to the end of the episode of the day. When next we meet, we shall be discussing about Asma'ul Ishara lilqarib, the distal demonstrative pronoun where we have dhalika and ulaika, that and those. Make sure you hit on the like button and share this with your friends as it is serve as sadaqah jariyah for you and I. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us better understanding than we have tried to present it. If you have not followed us, hit on the follow button and subscribe to our channel as we will be dropping frequent updates that will be beneficial to you, inshallah. Until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.